say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for forever. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we live for it, we live for forever. You at the hideout where we can dream again. I'll tell you all my secrets. We're encouraged like a second skin. The kids are all dying. We're dying to believe again. Run through the open streets. We take what is needed. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for forever. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we live for it, we live for forever. We can dream all night till the sun rises. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for forever. I'll meet you at the airport. You know that we can touch the sky. Dancing in the aisles. We're skating on clouds of fire. The kids are all dying. We're dying to believe again. Run through the open streets. We take what is needed. Open up the skies, see the heavens clearer. I could change your mind. We know where we came from. Set our hearts on fire. The dreamers are all here. We could change your mind. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for forever. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we live for it, we live for forever. We can dream all night till the sun rises. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for forever.
Окей.
Ребята приехали в Москву в воскресенье, провели неделю, играя групповую стадию, развлекаясь.
So they spent a week in Moscow, had some fun, met with the fans.
Gabriel, so how were your first day in Russia? Everything cool?
Sorry, what's the question?
How was your first day in Russia? Everything cool?
Yeah, Russia's great. We have been having a great time here.
Are you excited to play against G2 on this stage?
Yeah, it looks awesome. One of the best stages we have ever been. The crowd's here. Hello, Privyat, Russia.
What? Thank you, appreciate that. Отлично. Вторая команда.
And the second
Вы уже,
team.
наверное, догадались, кто они.
You probably know who they
Последняя
are.
победа была в июне. Они
Their
выиграли
last win
250 тысяч
dates
долларов.
back in
На
June.
нашем турнире
They
первое
won
место тоже 250 тысяч долларов.
$250,000.
Я думаю, что они хотят вам доказать,
And
что
they
это
want
совпадение
to
не случайно.
prove
Приветствуем
that
G2
this wasn't
Esports.
an accident. Welcome to Esports.
Ребята тоже приехали в воскресенье. Уже успели посмотреть Москву,
They've
увидели
also
фотографии.
Arrived
Но
at
всё-таки
Sunday,
надо
had
спросить,
some
как
time
вообще готовы
to
или
spend
нет?
in Moscow.
Hello, Richard. Are you ready to play on this stage?
I'm really ready.
You seem to be the underdogs of this matchup. Do you have anything in your sleeve?
Not so much. I think we are ready.
All right. So, I guess we're in for epic battle. Ребята сказали, что они готовы. Вторые тоже сказали, что они готовы. Все будет
Everybody is
нормально.
ready. Everything
Осталось
is fine.
рукопожатие. All right,
It's
guys,
time
to
to-
shake hands and play some Counter-Strike. Как говорят у нас на эпицентре, сейчас будет
As we say
эпичненько.
at the epicenter,
Поэтому еще раз,
this is going to be
ненадолго, я
epic.
передаю слово студию аналитики.
So once
И
again,
мы
we're
совсем
going
скоро
back
начнем.
to the
Ребята,
analyst desk.
вперед!
Well, the players are in their booths, or bunkers, as I should probably be referring to them. Awesome. Sandbags are plenty here at Epicenter, of course, here in Moscow. And it does seem like both teams ready to go. Of course, pre-match interviews tend to be rather few words, obviously, in that game brain. Don't want to be kind of throwing away too much of your strategy. Have you got any, what did he say? Have you got anything up your sleeve? He was like,
No. But to be fair, with G2,
Can you imagine
that
him
could
going-
actually be true.
yeah, can you imagine him going, actually, yes. So what we're going to do is they have an A strat. So what we're going to do is we're going to, oh, sorry. Oh, damn. Messed up.
Lost it.
Oops.
No, I think we are ready.
Yeah, yes, we are ready. Yes, we are. Now, let's start by talking about the first map. I assume we'll have an opportunity to talk about them plenty. But it's going to be SK's pick, and it's going to be going into Train. So let's start exploring that one. We'll start with you, Halvor. SK, in terms of like strength and their map pool, would you put it like, is Train numero uno, or where do you kind of put this one?
it would definitely be in contention for number one.
Yeah.
In my eyes, for sure. It's just been a staple of their map pool for such a long time, and their history kind of, or the results kind of reflect that. They just have a really strong fundamental way of playing the entire map. They actually have a really good balance of having variety to their CT side setups, whether they want to play aggressively or passively, if they want to do multi-op setups, all that kind of stuff. They just have so many different options to pull out at any kind of situation that is, pretty much, well, what you need. It's alpha omega, really, if you want to be an excellent T-side team or train team over a long period of time.
I'm so glad you had that little slip up saying T-side, because I'm coming back to a point that you made last time we discussed G2 a couple of days ago, because we had that awesome little break. But it was that you were talking about G2 need a T-side start. Now, does that still stand coming into train, notoriously favoring the defensive side?
Well, I mean, it seems to be the thing for G2. If you look at their games this tournament, it's mostly been the wins they've had have been with through strong T halves, right? They've had one game, I think, where they went behind 5-10 and came back to win it on T side. But for the most part, it's always about them being able to pace their game, because they're not going to be like super tactical team with a lot of elaborate strategies, you know, amazing timings and whatnot. They're going to be the ones that are good at the fundamental things, such as trading kills effectively, making sure you're at least at an even number situation once you're going towards that bomb site. If they get to do that, then you know, they just look much more comfortable.
So, I mean, we're talking about fundamentals. Does that kind of ring true to you, Janko, that basically the reason G2 have such a strong T side is because they have the fundamentals down like no one else?
I think to an extent, but I also believe it is, we talk about Shocks and Scream, and it's not just that they go off individually, it's that the team's play is revolved around those two players, putting them in a position to succeed, right? And obviously that's easier to do on the T side in a sense that you dictate the pace of the round, you can, you know, pick where you're going to hit and everything. On the City side, it's a bit more difficult, you know, because obviously you need to defend, you try to read the game, see where the Ts are going to end up, and it's not always going to be, you know, where Shocks and Scream are. There will be the guys who are going to be in on the rotate. So I think that for them, obviously in that sense, it is easier because they know what to expect. They can put their best players in a position to succeed.
Okay, so it's not necessarily, you know, the Scream and Shock show without some support. That's what we're saying. They've got these three behind them, and it's a conscious decision, do you say, Halvor, to have these front men at the kind of spearhead of their assault?
Yeah, it makes sense because
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of put your best foot forward, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want to do, especially on your T side. So if they can potentially just kind of win you the round within a span of 5 seconds, then sure, you know, go ahead, try, right?
And I think the Scream stories, I mean, we talk about Shocks for forever. I mean, everyone is aware of the Shocks name within CS, and if you aren't, just type those 4 letters into Google. It will do a lot of work for you. But Scream, this is an intriguing topic now, because he has had a bit of a kind of adventure actually within CS. He's an intriguing character to talk about. Nati, we'll actually start with you to kind of set the scene on this character, because would you say this is the most success he's had?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's really becoming a complete player now.
Yeah.
He used to be known for his one taps, and that's all he was known for, because he wasn't actually doing that well in a team environment. Like he was getting cut from teams. He played in Titan. He played on the Existence, kind of a more elaborate kind of an approach to Counter-Strike teams, and he just wasn't fitting in right. But now he has a very different vibe and dynamic to a team where he gets to be one of the superstars. He gets to really utilize that aim of his, and now he also seems to be much more comfortable in the game, and it's showing off. But definitely hasn't been that well all the time.
More of a complete player, Halvor. Does that sound right to you? I mean, he's not just a walking meme.
Absolutely, because he was literally the definition of a one-trick pony back in the early days of CSGO, and to an extent he was the same thing when he played for 3D Max in CSS as well. Like, absolutely, you could tell that he's got a lot of skill, but it wouldn't be the greatest task on earth to actually outsmart him in a lot of situations, right? And that was always the thing that knocked him down a peg compared to other French players in the scene. And, you know, with time, actually getting experience, because even though he got knocked out removed from these Barry Games lineups or Titan lineups, eventually he would end up in other French teams where he would get competitive experience and actually go to tournaments. And you can definitely tell that he's not matured necessarily in the same manner that you talk about, for instance, Michael as a player, because it's not a personal thing, but he's matured as an in-game player. As in,
he's had the experience that he needed.
Exactly, and he's become so much more well-rounded, and now he can pick, you know, from earlier experience in certain situations where he doesn't have to stress out and try to come up with the most brilliant answer, because he can rely on past experiences.
And he can also rely on those filthy one-taps. All right, let's time for predictions. The first game is about to get underway. G2 and SK is about to load into Train, and so I have to start probing for predictions. How does SK's map pick Train go out in your mind, Janko?
I think they're good. I think actually the trend is going to reverse itself now. When we come to the arena, to the playoffs. I actually believe that the SK is going to take Train and take their map. I feel that they just have a lot of depth on the map. They understand how it works, and they can very early on pick up on what's going on in the round and adjust properly.
Now, Halvor, you're going to be mirroring this. I feel like there might be quite a pro-Brazilian vibe for our first predictions.
Yeah, Train just feels like a very solid, a very easy train pick for me. Same reasons, depth, variety, and I wasn't too surprised when we actually saw the T side of G2 last time around. So
Yeah.
feeling a bit iffy on it.
Yeah, last time T2 on T side was actually they got one round, right? So it wasn't really brilliant from their part. The only concern for SK is if we're going to have the one that we saw on the first day where they were really disconnected, they were not trading well, they were just not looking like the SK at all. Well, going into day 3, I mean, against HR, obviously not the best opposing team, but still, they did seem very much better, a whole lot better. But yeah, I'm still going to pick SK due to the same fact.
Ooh, a little bit of a slip up. You could have accidentally gone for G2 and then looked really smart when they smash it. Okay.
For the exact reasons, yeah.
All right, we've got 3 for SK, and I do believe the game is ready. I was told that we can go ahead and get into things. And so, G2 and SK, our first quarterfinal of our day here in the arena. EPICENTER has already impressed. Let's see if the players can too as we head over to your casters, the dashing duo that is Henry G and Sadakist.
We are indeed dashing, but you are not Henry, you are Hank. He's got it wrong.
I'm Hank today.
Yeah, he's got it wrong. Yeah. And that's all right. I think we are ready. That was an incredible ceremony to start things off.
Yeah.
Good team introductions, great stage, and we've got some good Counter-Strike. We've got 6 teams left that are quite tantalizing. We've got a matchup right now where, as they said, depending on what form G2 are in, can really take on anyone, and they have beaten SK in a final this year.
Historically, this is a good matchup. In terms of like quarterfinals and stuff, this should be very interesting. I like the map pool as well. Trying to kick things off, I do favour SK quite heavily in that one, but then we move it to Dust 2. That's when things for me get interesting. And when we could potentially see that third map, Dust 2, that's obviously G2, they need to step up. It's their best map, it's available in the pool here, and they can play Cobblestone to a decent degree as well. So hopefully we get the 3 maps, but I do favour SK quite heavily.
The interesting thing with SK going on to Dust 2 as well is it was a map with the former lineup that they used to play. They actually played it quite a bit. We saw it at Cluj against Na'Vi when they still had, I'm drawing blanks, Bolts and not ZQK. That was way before then. Steel. Thank you. There we go. When they were still in the lineup, before obviously Taco and FNX came in, as soon as they did, it was the map they got 016 on.
Yeah,
and they went, maybe we shouldn't play that for a bit. And then they tried to bring it back into their pool, but they never quite had the results. I think they had another crushing loss, like 16-3. The Renegades one's an anomaly. That's obviously when they had Showtime.
Sure.
But they've had pretty average results. So the fact that it's in there, like you say, if G2 can step up on that map, it'll be huge.
The thing is with G2 stepping up is sometimes you just don't see them playing to their strengths. They're known to be very aggressive and shutting down T sides, especially on the CT side. They're the ones that are pushing off and looking confident. If they get a little bit rattled, then you can see them being a little bit more cagey towards the A-bomb side, not pushing off, not having that aggression towards the short area, especially in the B tunnels, which we know they do a lot. That's the kind of G2 I want to see turning up. If they're going to win this tournament or even win this game, they need to be showing that they're going to play to their strengths and show they're not fearing any opponents going into this one. Obviously, SK, definitely a team that are going to be scary going into it, but they're on the ropes right now in terms of like their form at the moment.
Well, I think there's all kinds of speculation right now as well. So
I wouldn't know anything about it.
I know. I got to fix that. It's bothering me. It's all over the place. But I mean, look, I'm saying speculation because we know as little as anyone else. It's just what we've been hearing in whispers and mostly on social media. Nothing official coming out of the camps here, so I'm not 100% sure. But you never know if something's going to change or not. If it does, it would be pretty remarkable considering the run that this team had and the fact that they're going into a Brazilian tournament next week. It would obviously come after that. There's no way I think that the ESL would allow the rules to swap a player right before the LAN final. I think you have to do it in the middle of the season as a roster lock, and if you do more than 1 or 2 swaps, you lose your position in the league anyway. So there's all kinds of stuff about that. But
well, shall we have a look at Train then, Matthew?
We should. I know that someone in particular on our talent team is very excited to see Train come into the map pool today.
Why?
Anders was talking about it just in general.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
so
he was saying he's got his theorycraft videos, and he thinks that SK are potentially going to use some of that. So look towards the Ivy area in particular. Apparently there's a really cool flashbang that's coming in. That's what he was telling me about.
The one that goes over top of the box.
So he's got some information that could be coming in. So that could be something to look out for. But we saw SK playing against Fnatic on this map, and they shut them down. Do you remember the ruthless aggression they had towards that inner site? They were just pushing constantly, it felt like, and getting away with it most of the time as well. Like, that was quite an interesting idea. Like one round they had 3 people just pushing in the lower ramp on a full gun round, looking for that first pick, get it, fall back, then reposition themselves. So they had that surprise factor, very aggressive and shutting down any sort of defaults or set pieces that the terrorists had in mind. That's the kind of stuff I'd like to see in these big games. It kind of just sends a message out to the opponents and kind of rattle them and kind of make them be a little more cautious to how they approach situations, have to use more of their utility to start the round to eradicate those risks. So I want to see that from SK, and whether G2 are prepared for it, I'm not so sure. Their train is decent, But I think they've lost to Na'Vi in this tournament. I think it was 16-9. They didn't look particularly amazing on it. It's a map they certainly can play. We said it was Smith's probably second best map compared to Dust 2.
I would agree with that too. And oddly, because it's close angles, it's tight angles, which I don't think is one of his strong suits, but yet you're right. I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, well, that's another factor for G2 to step up here. He's obviously against a deadly duo, the double orb setup of Fallen and Cold Zera. Whether Smiths can actually stand up to that, and he's obviously got Shoxy to help him out. It's not as formidable, but can be an interesting duo. It's normally brought out in the desperation when things really aren't working for G2. They lose like 6 or 7 rounds in a row. That's when Shox brings out the AWP as well. I don't think that's going to be good enough here. I think they're going to have a decent start. I think they're going to be starting on the T side here as well. So not on their map. They've lost the life round. That's actually quite a big deal. They don't win the knife here against SK. Like we said, they've got that ruthless aggression towards the map. Maybe they can get shut down here and not find much at all. It's this SK's pick. I certainly favour them on this. I think Dust 2 is when it'll get interesting. I think SK will run away with this one, in my opinion. But I hope we do still see 3 maps because of Dust 2. That's what I'm hoping for.
I think there's a very good chance we will. Yeah. I think that's entirely possible. In fact, I think it might even be more likely that this could go 2 maps for G2, if anything. I think Dust 2 is a very hard one to win. I'm not saying they can't. As we know, CS is very unpredictable right now. And the first day of this tournament, everyone won the opposite map as we get ready to get into this game. Yeah. And that could happen again. SK can show up on it. They've got the skill to do it. They've got Fallen on the primary AWP. On that map, he's very good as well. He's not one of the people that's the problem in the transition of the team. It's just finding the chemistry that they had before with the old lineup. That's never been there, but there's a possibility that they could do it. My thought process, though, statistically, would say that goes G2's way, and then we do see Cobble.
Well, we'll see what happens there. Cobble could be a very good map indeed. We have seen some great games from G2 on that map this year, especially against Envious. We saw recently that was fantastic, but there's definitely hit or miss on that one. I feel like SK still will have the upper hand here, but still, in terms of form right now, yes, you want to talk about SK being a better team overall, a better package, but they've been certainly having peaks and troughs here, especially in this tournament as well. It hasn't been clean cut for really anyone in this tournament. No one's really run away with the tournament. I think it's VP are the only team you can really say that potentially done that. But,
and typical VP, they show up one weekend, win a tournament in Bucharest, go into New York, final run, close map in the third one, gets a smoke diffuse to win it. I think it was 16-14 for Na'Vi, so they ended up coming up a little bit short, but still played very well. Go to WSG, lose to Russia 3 straight times, a mixed team.
Yeah,
finish third, still qualify for the event, but then come here and they look, again, very, very formidable. So I'm a bit curious to see if that can prevail all the way through for them. And I think that them versus Na'Vi could be very likely in the final. I know everyone on the desk said the same thing. Yeah. Na'Vi struggled in their group, 3-3 throughout that whole group. They get through on round differential to the semifinal. The only team I could see in the quarterfinal potentially breaking through and surpassing one of those two in the quarterfinals, in the semifinals, excuse me, is SK.
Yeah, well, it depends what SK turns up today, obviously. They got this first game, and then it's obviously, this is at the round of 6, right? We call it the quarterfinals, but there's already 2 teams that have gone through. So we have 2 best-of-3s today. That's going to be GT versus SK Gaming, then we have Dignitas versus Fnatic. 2 very good games, actually. In terms of the matchups, I think it's worked out quite nicely. GT versus SK, like historically, is a really cool matchup. We've seen it a few times, like ECS finals, Pro League finals. Dignitas versus Fnatic, 2 teams on the ascendant right now. Obviously, Dignitas have secured their place in like the top 5 and the top 10 right now. Fnatic getting better and better every tournament as well. I think there's going to be 2 really exciting matchups coming forward. They're trying to kick things off. It looks like the E-bot is haunting us a little bit at the moment.
I'd rather sort it now than after, to be completely honest. I would much rather sort it now. Great crowd already. Usually we take a few games to build up to the crowd in a tournament, but this weekend, all here. There was a massive line outside. Obviously, we had to delay the introduction due to security. It's good to see that security measures are taken very seriously as well. It's something that's been a debate at many past tournaments, as we know, but they were very thorough here. They were thorough with us as well.
It's better to be safe, right, and get everything checked and get everyone in safely than rush everyone in and try and get a start on time, right? It's, it's good to see it happening like that, and we think we've got plenty of time. As like I said, only 2 games today, so we're not going to be here till 1 in the morning or anything like that. It's going to be all well within capacity. It's going to be absolutely fine.
I'm going to be somewhere else till 1 in the morning.
Oh yeah?
This Russia thing, it's quite entertaining. I went to the Red Square last night. I finally get out of bed and actually did something. It's very, very nice. And I need to go see the Kremlin. I haven't been to the actual center of the Kremlin yet, but yeah, the Red Square is beautiful.
Yeah, so I've seen lots of pictures. It's great.
You should go.
Maybe I will.
I doubt it.
I doubt it as well.
Tank G, you sit in the hotel and order room service.
It's the trick.
The trick.
Yeah.
The trick to the trade.
Yeah.
I want to survive. Packed house already. And I'm curious as well, like you say with the knife round, if we do see that aggressive start again. coming out from SK to shut them down in specific.
I think it's like if
points.
they win the pistol and they get rolling, that's when we're going to see that kind of relentless pushing, especially with that inside area. Like I remember we had like an AWP, 2 M4s running at the lower ramp, looking for kills constantly as well. Like, and even on the normal gun round where they had one player towards it, it's just running all the way in. I think it was Ferd is running in there, and like if you remember, I think it was against Fnatic, right? He was just Olaf was waiting there with smoke in his hand.
Oh no, let's not. No,
Oh, there it is.
This
Your
is not
favorite.
New York. Come on, guys.
Your
I had
favorite.
so much more faith. As a Canadian, I was, good hockey players actually come from Russia. Austin Matthews is all right, but he's year 1 right now. Patrick Kane, whatever. But I was expecting, a crowd that wasn't going to dab. Let's not be America. We don't have to be America, guys. Be like Canada.
Let's see. Every shot right now, we're probably going to get one. There's always one. No,
that is a lovely mustache.
Oh,
and he ruined it. It's a terrible mustache. You should shave it immediately. Just get rid of it.
Straight away. Oh, it's too much now, isn't it? It's every
yeah,
crowd.
now it's brutal. I'm tweeting about it. I'm already raged.
It's one of Matt's pet peeves. He absolutely
It's
hates
so
that.
stupid. Hang on. Tweet is sent.
All right, make sure you go retweet that. Raise awareness.
Yeah, inside the boots. Curves boots, which is kind of interesting. So think about this from a player perspective, Henry. We've seen curved moves that go the other way, which actually I think are a disadvantage because you can't see to the end of the line to see. Well, you can make eye contact, which maybe for communication is better, but in here, if you're sitting where Taco's sitting right now and you want to look to the other end, with the curved booths, you could actually potentially get information off of a 5th monitor that you wouldn't be able to see in a straight line.
Well, I don't know. I'd have to go see the angles.
Sure. I don't know. I'm just wondering. I'm wondering your thought on the curve. Curving that way as well.
If you look behind you, though, the distance between the booths, it's pretty massive.
Oh, I'm not saying team to team. I'm saying from Taco to his teammate. Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah. No way am I insinuating that they can see booth to booth. In fact, I think they're blacked off on the ends so they cannot.
Yeah.
Not to mention they're pointed inward and curved away from each other,
Right,
so
I
they
see
can't.
what you
I'm
mean.
saying, but to a teammate, you could see from position 1 to position 5 potentially in a lot better fashion than you would in a straight line. So, we always talk about seating position and playing off the guy's computer beside you. If you're playing to flash for a teammate, you can time it perfectly because you can see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Potentially, especially if you're in the middle, you can see a lot more now.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You're saying it's a good thing, right?
For the teams themselves,
okay.
yes.
Right, well, yeah, that certainly makes sense. Well, the teams are readying up now. Maybe we do have a game starting momentarily. This is the first of 2 today. This is such a cool matchup as well. SK Gaming versus
She's
G2.
not going to dab because she's actually lovely. See, she knows.
Wait for it. Okay. I thought it was coming. She just needs to realize she was on camera, then it could have come in.
Nope, she knew. She just didn't want to put up with it. 1.11 KDR. I'd rather see ADR. That would be a stat I'd rather see in all of this because KD doesn't necessarily account for assists and damage done, but either way, look through the roster. Shocks, there's the other man, along with Scream, that we kind of have to keep an eye on.
Yeah, the deadly duo everyone talks about in this team. Shocks as Scream. RPK has been great recently for the team as well. His body, the latest addition to the squad, definitely was a bit of apprehension as to how he was going to fit into the unit, but actually, in terms of gameplay himself, he's actually been getting better and better, and he's actually one of my favorite players within the lineup to watch now. Is going to be SK Gaming as well. Just a little rundown for you. We obviously did it on the desk already. But there's Fer, obviously back in the team after a bit of a hiatus due to surgery, I believe it was, and we had, the Showtime coming in, and that didn't really go to plan.
Just to be clear,
Yep.
I was obviously joking about the whole America-Canada thing because it was Drake that I think... No, it wasn't. It was the football player for the dab. It was Drake that brought in the... What was his thing he did? I can't remember.
Hotline Bling?
Maybe.
That's his thing?
All right. Well, yeah. Never mind. It wasn't America's fault.
Right.
I take it back. I take back taking it back. I retract my retraction.
Okay.
I do not confirm this confirmation.
Okay, perfect. Well, at least we're all on the same page now.
See, even he knows. Oh, I saw the hand come up, but I was like, no.
Keep thinking about it.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, eBot is plaguing us once again. After such a sick opening presentation, we are going to be bringing it back to us, and we'll see whether we can entertain you a little bit further. Matthew.
Would it be funny if I just did it right now?
I think you should.
No,
I think we have
never.
a fourth of you one day.
Never. I think we should just redo that introduction again. I want to get the people jumping around.
What was your favorite part? I like the sniper at the top. He was pretty
The sniper at the top was very subtle. I like the rappelling and obviously onto the top of the van. But I think my favorite part... here we go.
Here it is.
I think my favorite part was the grenade over by the silos where they all exploded. But we are going to get in, and I think we're straight in as well. This is not a knife round. This is a set formation out of spawn, so... Talk about the buy a little bit. We do have a kit and a smoke on Fallen. No kits, or rather, excuse me, no smokes on the T side, but they're going to lose the first man already. Look at the aggression. You said it. If they could win the pistol, if they could find that aggression toward Ivy. Good flashbang in as well. Down toward the entrance to the A main, and it's going to be Fur to take out Smiths. So Cold pushes Ivy, catches the first kill. Now they go to work. This is a crossfire. What a mess. A Scream does at least hit a headshot on the Taco, trying to flank back in from Pop Dog. But a perfect flash. The one flash they had to work with, and Cold's going to close it as well. Brilliant from SK to start it off.
Yeah, looking absolutely excellent. They're going to be actually using one smoke G2 towards our main entrance, actually towards the 5-track, trying to go out very quickly there indeed. We said there'd be aggression from SK Gaming. They're sticking as a unit towards Ivy, just nailing all the headshots there. Cold 0 of 2, Fallen FNX and Fur chime in as well. And G2 only find one frag in total. That was Scream, who was the last player remaining. So there is going to be a force fire here. G2 didn't get a bomb down, so it means PT50s, Deagles, not getting any utility here. I thought with the PT50 purchase as well, they might get a couple of grenades, but it looks like maybe an inside rush coming in. Good flashbang comes in for the CTs there, but still a lot of work here to do to get the bomb down. Fur opens things up, looking for a few frags, but Scream blows his head off there. Now they've got a chance to get the bomb down.
Goes trying to hold them off in the post plant. Shock's going to try and get aggressive, but he's 1 versus 4. So bomb in for G2. That's job done. That's mission accomplished. Good trigger discipline. May find more than this. Taco goes low but falls and somehow evades a bullet in doing so. Leaves him on 12 HP. It's clever from Shocks. It would have been a tall order. If he had to get the second and maybe got a gun, all right. I'll flirt with the chance, but at that point they were already up toward the defuse.
Well, the B-bomb say you're normally guaranteed to get the bomb down in that scenario. Obviously, you're going to be up against one player on the lower ramp, players rotating connector as well. If you get the exchange like G2 done, the bomb's going to be going down, and you're not going to be able to buy into the next round, but it means you're secure for the first gun. They can justify a few upgraded pistols here. It's going to be what, Deagles, PT50s, but SK Gaming, we said they should be feared if they get this sort of start clean pistol, and then the second gun round as well. They managed to get 4 M4s up, and it's going to be Cold 0 on the UMP. After this first gun round, we know G2 actually could be limited. It was Smith as well. He actually got head armor and pistol as well. So in terms of the AWP, he might be able to just about get the glass cannon. I'll have a look and see whether I can work it out. Yeah, he should be able to get glass cannon, but still, we're going to be very limited as we go into that first gun round. That's when we'll probably see those fast rounds coming in from SK. Taka going to light things up, though. He gets the first 2 frags. Taken down by Scream once again. So the bomb plant should be a possibility once this actually boosts G2's chance going to that first gun round now significantly. They probably won't win the round, but now they get the extra cash to work with.
FNX is going to follow up onto Shocks. So bomb plant's coming aplenty already for G2 on the B site. Like you say, it's a much better place to try and get a bomb plant down, but post plant this time with weapons, not any better than when they just had the pistol. Bomb plants are significant though, as we do build up the lost round bonus to 5 rounds. Yeah, still 400 each time, but if you get the bomb plant down, they can get utility out and potentially buy almost every time when they reach that limit. We're only on 3 right now.
Yeah, so those 2 plants in a row actually helps out a lot. You see Smith's now $6,300. Without that, he would have been struggling to get the AWP out, so that's an extra 800 for him. We'll see the first buy come at this point. I did say SK Gaming, the first gun rounds are always a little bit exciting. That's when you can throw a curveball in, not let the terrorist team get comfortable. You can push in towards Ivy, fall in with the AWP as well. We said there's a lot of aggression towards the inside area. This is what I want to see from SK to kick things off. We'll see what GT bring to the table as well. A team known for their defaults in this map, trying to work the slow picks. That looks like it'll be the case at the moment. It's a 2-1-2 setup with the bomb still towards T-spawn. RPK looking to get information towards Brown Halls. But there it is. Inside aggression. We said it was coming. Fallen takes his head off on that lower round berry. At the top of it, no less as well. Fantastic way to kick things off there.
And we saw Fallen push that a lot in the group stages with the AWP. He was relentless at trying to get to the corner with the AWP. Not the back corner that we often talk about either. Body dodging a flash successfully. It's Cold in behind the server. Fallen's going to get away as he's got good position to cover off Ivy alone. He's going to push it as well. Oh, the problem is the flames behind him. 3 HP, bullets coming through. 1 stray, and he's gone. And all he does is push forward to use the smoke to his advantage, and he thinks about going back in the same position, but better still, he's going to swap over the weaponry. 3 HP, he can play an angle with an AWP.
Yeah, just get a one-and-done position, get that kill, fall back. Try and stay alive instead of having to challenge with the M4. That does make sense. He's a secondary AWP for the team, so Fallen will take the M4 off his hands. It looks like Ivy play will be coming in from GT right now, looking for that pick. It's Smiths, though. He's only got the AK-47. We know him to have an AWP on this map, and smoke towards the right-hand side. Maybe going towards back tracks here. That's what they will be doing.
It's going to be a trade out. FNX with 1, but there it is, Cold. You said it, 1 and done with that AWP. He's got 1 and he's not done. He can move back, he can relocate, and he still has potential for more. This Taco's going to take down Shocks. Bomb dropped on the way through in Scream's hands. 4-0 SK. No bomb plant this time for G2, so they're going to be on the cusp. And they're going to have a maximum loss round bonus in the next. If they go for a fast plant, they can get a buy. So do they force into this or do they wait? And here it is. There's the force. They're going to go AKs.
They will indeed force. We did say we wanted to see something a little bit interesting from SK in the first gun run. Fallen delivers, pushing that lower ramp. It's an audacious move, and he blows off the head of RPK. Now they'll be a little bit more cagey going into that position. It's a great message to send things out. We'll go into round number 5 here. 4 AKs, a Khalil. Not the best buy here, and it's going to be Cold Zero. Once again towards that server area, another default coming in from the French side here. You can see they're much more limited there. They've got 3 smokes this time, 1 Molotov. Scream known to be a bit of a nuisance toward his main entrance position, but let's see whether he can actually find anything at this point. Not so much aggression from the CTs at this point. It's going to be holding back, and their own GT will be limited in terms of what they can actually do at the opening picks. Zero, though, on the aggressive side of the server.
That's an interesting position.
Looks like they knew he might have been coming there. They're actually pre-firing that to come under smoke. Maybe know a few of his moves there.
Yeah, and the gap in the smoke, last time there wasn't when he pushed forward to get away from the flames and the Molotov. The gap in the smoke haunts him this time. Falling goes back hunting in the same position with the AWP, but no one there. They've elected to go elsewhere. Take their aggression and the bomb now up in bathrooms over toward potentially B. It's Taco in the corner. One player already by. Shocks is a headshot potential above the box. Taco doesn't end up worse off of it. He goes down to 25, but still alive. That's the crucial part of this because they can't go down 2 men early, especially on a B execution from G2.
They've got 2 smokes and Molotov to work with here. They are going to be committing 5 players to this side of the map. The problem is, Fallen alive, he's actually not rotating. He's towards Ibis. This is actually looking pretty good for G2. They can get in quickly, but the incendiary, that does slow them down significantly at this point. They're going to have to actually extinguish it and go straight in.
They gotta check this. It's so common that that's not checked that he pops out. It works for 2. His teammate Taco steps back in as he wraps wide of the train, and down they all go. Although Shocks will find 2 in return. It's gonna be Fur and Taco, which will allow the bomb plant. 1 versus 2 for Shocks. As Fur picked up so much damage in that situation. 2 kills for each of the B site. Shocks tagged up, down to 3 HP already. He's got to run forward to the site, go aggressive, and in the open, Fallen's going to spot him, and down he goes. Well done, Taco and Fur in the B site alone.
Yeah, Fur on that such low HP as well, just hiding in behind his spool. I thought, okay, 1 kill maybe. You're absolutely right. They didn't seem aware that could be a possibility whatsoever. He finds 2 frags. Taco starts chiming in with 2 of his own, and then Shocks. He does a good job there. He drops down from upper, finds 2 kills in the back, but at that point, it felt like it was too little, too late. G2 do get the bomb down once again, but you can see as soon as he plants his nades raining down on top of him, and it's going to be the 5-0 coming in. So no orb so far for G2. We have got another buy. Maximum loss bonus at this point. You get $3,400 going to the round. They did get the bomb down before as well. It's going to be AKs. Still, in terms of a full buy, it's there, but they're limited in terms of no Molotovs. They have the 5 smokes. We haven't seen too much in terms of set pieces yet, but the double orb setup now comes in. And this is what we talked about, the 3 players towards that lower round position. Going to be finding RPK once again. There's actually 4 players towards this side of the map. Just Fallen by himself outside. This is what we wanted to see, and they're kicking off in a tremendous fashion here. Round number 6, starting to fall apart already for G2. 4 players in the inside push.
Yeah, that's insane. Without the bomb plants, it's going to be hard-pressed to try and buy every single round. Good push in through from Shocks, though. Catches Fallen off guard as he looks away. Wow. Nice shot. FNX down at the bottom of the ladder and a smoke to cover off Taco's rotation. Shocks can start to get forward. Slow reactions, though, and Taco he'll find the headshot in return with the M4. Bomb gets dropped as well as Cold lines up with the AWP. Tells Scream where he is. But Scream's going to have to be the man he's known to be and perform that which he is known for, because an AWP against him, he's got to prevail with an AK. Going to change his angle as well. There's no smoke on that side of the train, and Cold staring it down as a result. Well done, SK again. And they are looking the aggressive CT side that we expected.
Yep, there it is. 4 players on the inside. That's so unorthodox. It's difficult to analyze that one for you. GTs probably just don't know what the hell's going on at that point. RPK, his role within that round is to actually go clear out the brown halls, call that the CTs can't be pushing it. It's normally maybe 1 CT over north at the very back, or flashing in and trying to push for a smoke. It's very difficult to actually hold off 4 players pushing that aggressively. It's a map you're trying to work slow picks on. So G2 at this point, they are going to be into another eco, and that's a sensational start for SK Gaming, you have to say. There's going to be a partial buy here, but Cold Zera keeping up the aggression towards Ivy this time, looking for that first pick. Flashbang's good though, he should be going down here. So yes, caught. Smiths gets him, they get the AWP in their possession at least.
Lost track of where he was, gets caught on the edge of the tunnel. Fur couldn't come to save him because he never got back far enough, he never baited him around the corner.
They haven't picked up the AWP just yet. I think it's surely available.
It should be there. Oh, that's why. Flames. Now they've got it. Yeah. RPK's picked it up, throws it to Smiths.
I want to give it to Shoxy considering his HP. But
yeah, that's what I was thinking, and especially because he doesn't have armor as well. Yeah, there. That's going to be the call, because no armor, no HP. Shox has to be the one to wield it. He's got a Tech 9 as a backup weapon as well, which isn't a bad combination. But they've got to find another kill. FNX putting himself in the outback toward Old Train.
Well, now they've got something to work with here. They still have a smoke and a flashbang as well. I assume they picked up the smoke of the fallen body of Cold Zero there. So at this point, 50 seconds remaining. He can still smoke the left and right hand side of Ivy there. We have one player towards Pop Dog. I think that's Scream. So he'll probably try and show his hand towards that area, pull a rotation, then the teammates can come out towards Ivy.
And the issue right now with what I was going to say with FNX's position, that he's isolated as well. That could be a second gun. So if this goes down to a 3-on-5, if they find this pick, and his gun gets picked up, it's game on for G2, especially with the armor in hand. He's got to get the shots in. Manages one only. RPK's going to trade it out. Now the second gun becomes a possibility, but they did lose one in the process. Nice shot from Smiths. Low HP doesn't matter, as the Deagle will prevail. Fallen, he'll come back in. Here's the bomb going down. What a shot! Oh, he takes down Smith. That leaves him open to deny the plant, and suddenly the round falls apart. It is going to be Shox left alive, as he's got the Tech 9, low HP on Fallen, but Fallen's going to hit him regardless. That was an incredible second shot with the USP.
That's absolutely nuts. It looked like G2 had that round. They get the AWP at the start. They find equal trades. They have the man advantage, but then Fallen, he comes to life there in the key situation, finds that kill towards the electric box as well. The USP's drawn. The second shot, like he said, blows him out the water, denies the plant as well. 10 seconds remaining, then Shoxy can't do anything about it. This is the adjustment, Matt. I said at the beginning, when things get a bit desperate for G2, the double AWP setup comes out. Smiths and Shoxy, definitely formidable, but are they going to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Fallen in the current form we've seen so far? It's 7-0. Got to get something going here. They'll be slowing things right down, trying to stop these aggressive pushes at the start. The double AWP setup suggests that's exactly what they will be doing, holding back and seeing if they can find anything to start. No one really committing to any sort of position here, holding so far back in T-spawn, just trying to stop these initial pushes that have come towards them so far, but SK Gaming aren't having any of it. Going to be playing a default themselves, so well adjusted from them.
So Ferdinand into A main, catch any damage onto Smiths, doesn't quite bounce the right direction. He was already on 89, so he'll stay there. Good year, 89. Better than 88, in my opinion, Henry G. That's just my opinion. Again, they do want to try and continue putting pressure on Ivy. It's important to hold the CTs back inside of the A side, even if you're not winning the duel, but Fallen this time is there with the AWP, smoke back in return, and now we can start to focus on toward A main. No crossfire set up directly on him, but good trade potential inside the site by Hitch with both Fur and Cold. But a slower round, finally. From the CTs, I'm not even talking about the T's setting the pace, it's been the CTs that have been aggressive. Tag coming through, RPK down to 23, and Shox has position, though he's waiting for the re-peek. He's trying to let this redress, and that's going to allow RPK to creep forward, because they can't wide peek to see exactly where he's gone, but he, in turn, doesn't know exactly what waits in the sight. Now there's a shoulder peek. And surprisingly, they don't capitalize on it, but Taco does back up around the corner, and the low HP on RPK from the first duel does end up haunting him in the end, as Shox still waits but can't find a shot in return.
They still have the AWP stuck towards connector here, so okay, that was a really crucial shot. Shox had found that, they might have had a chance in this round. Still could do something with it, but there's no one connecting at all. Fur finds another shot here, and this is looking devastating. The bomb is planted. Smiths has to do some serious work here. Only finds one kill. Poor old Scream now, 4 versus 1. Certainly a player that can deliver in these situations, but he's got to start hitting shots and can't even do that. The spray doesn't work out for him. Fur finds 3 kills. G2 looking a little bit lost here, I have to say.
And we always talk about it. It's their ability to hit shots that gets them into games. Again here, they get a bomb plant down on the B site, but they miss so many crucial shots. Shox misses the biggest one of all of them, I would say, on the first rotation.
That was actually
Smith misses the one right after that. Yeah, I would totally agree with, especially if they keep both ops up and keep them at range.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well then, 8-0. Still maximum loss minutes. They're still getting the bomb down, so they get the buys in. They try the double AWP set up last round. Not really a possibility going to round number 9. Maybe they just need to throw caution to the wind at this point. Let's try some rushes. Let's get some set pieces off the bat. Get the bomb down to post-plant situations that are actually possible for us to win. So far, they're getting shut down before they actually commit to a bomb site at all. So it's going to be 8-0. Shoxy trying to get some inside control at this point. Hacker does take a little bit of damage, but that's all that will happen here. Very default setup from G2. The bomb still towards T-spawn. 2 players at Ivy. RPK working the pop dog room, seeing if there is a pick possible for them. Fallen single AWP setup for him. He'll be towards connector for now, watching towards A-main.
Smiths. AK toward Pop Dog, already has left side isolated with the right side wrap. No one in toward help. He confirms that, but he leaves his teammate Smiths to go down. As Fallen had the angle, goes for the re-peek. Doesn't quite land it, but it's toward Pop Dog. He's not hitting the shots, he's getting the information. Thankfully, he's playing a very safe and passive angle. As Shox tries to elevate himself onto the bomb train, he can hear it but can't find it, and this starts to get awkward for Fallen. Now he's got to line up, but Shox is there, better still with the AK. Fur follows up. Or rather, excuse me, Scream follows up onto Fur. Still, though, a 2 versus 2 because trades toward the back and old train means that SK's got themselves in a reasonable position. Timing. Oh, the spray. Shocks can't find it. Smoke gets in front of him. No gap. So he does manage to get away, but Scream goes down behind him, and it's now Shocks 53 HP. Bomb 27 seconds to go against both Cold and FNX, who have less HP combined than he does. But watch the push right now.
Yeah, Cold Zero coming behind him. This is going to do him in. There's not really much you can do about this. Still has, he could have gone in towards inside now. That's not going to be a possibility. He has to commit. Cold Zero comes in. Perfect flank. 9-0 now. SK Gaming running away with this one. It still is a very CT-sided map, but at this point you'd expect at least a couple of rounds to be coming in for G2. I think you're surely a timeout. I guess they're not going to be buying this round. This is actually, yes, the maximum loss bonus does allow you to get $3,400 each round, but after the bomb comes in, you're going to get broken after a couple of those. So I think they have to take a partial buy here. Tech 9s, PD50s, maybe try set piece. Haven't really seen too much of that at the beginning. They're getting shut down every single approach. They tried the double orbs, they tried the rushes now, they tried the defaults. Not really getting much out of this one. Towards inside we go once again. It's Fallen pushing that lower ramp area. Going to be flashed off, but okay, doesn't matter. Shoxy gets taken down with the aggressive orb once again. 5 versus 4. Hard work done for the CTs now. Can actually justify falling back.
Gonna go through the smokes, flashes in. We're a little bit tilted on Body's camera. Glow TV glitch. Perhaps as tilted as G2 should be right now, down 9-0. Bomb dropped inside smoke. Body's gonna try and flash back onto it. That's gonna blind up FNX in its entirety, but Body takes his time in finding it because he's a little bit skewered for vision as he comes through the smoke himself. Scream can't hit the shot on Defer, and Fallen as Setch will take down Body. He's got the lineup. Scream still trying, 18 HP, but eventually he will fall. And now with guns coming up, call the timeout. You've got to get at least 4 rounds, in my opinion, on a T side of train.
I don't think that'll be happening today. No timeout coming in as of yet. So double orb setup. This is where things get even harder for G2, I'd say. Double orbs and train, especially on the CT side, very viable, and especially with this tag team combo, the way they're playing right now, Fallen and Cold Zera. We're going to have 5 AKs for G2. What do they bring to the table here? I would just say, let's just do a set piece straight away. We're not getting any picks here. We're not doing anything when we commit to the bomb site. Let's try and get some smokes down, and we'll see what happens. We have got another push from Cold Zera, though. He's in towards inside upper ramp. Looking for the first pick, but Fur opens things up. He kills RPK. RPK having a bit of a stinker. He's on 1 for 11, and Fur finds his second headshot. It's just an absolute bloodbath here so far. He's actually committed and pushing up the ladder.
Yeah, this is so aggressive.
Oh, God.
Scream's running up. Now, we've got a lot of noise in the auditorium. I don't know that the noise cue from the top of the stairs. Well, 100% that, but I'm thinking in reverse. I'm wondering if Fur heard Scream go that way, and that's why he waited in the corner.
Yeah.
Because if he had heard him go up the stairs, he could have capitalized on the fact that the bomb was there. But regardless, he's got great position, so doesn't need to go any more aggressive than he already has. That's very aggressive as it is. Taco, quick flash at the third alley. And FNX playing at the hitch. They've got both sides covered. No chance to split to B. Bomb's going to come in toward Ivy as well. All three in the same position. Wide peak, overcommits. As Body does have the angle and advantage, but now it's FNX to try and come back. And they line up. They line up perfectly. FNX, the timing's there. And the Phoenix from the Ashes takes down 2. It's going to be Scream left alive. And I would be screaming right now inside the booth right now if I'm G2.
G2 need a pause. They need to just work out what the hell's going on here. This is just an absolute mess. They're getting pushed all over the place. Fur this time just pushes towards Pop Dog, finds 2 kills. RPK can't get anything going. He's 1 for 11. He's been shut down at the beginning of every single round, it feels like. They're pushing every time. Like, yes, SK having a great game, but you could certainly bring some things to the table here. Like I said, let's just do some set pieces at this point. Let's do some rushes. Let's try and just push towards main. They're looking scared. They look caged. They can't really get out of this one. And SK Gaming 11-0 now. We have another buy coming in. Shoxy only has a Glock at the moment. I'm sure that must be some sort of bug here. Why has he only got a Glock? Yeah, he's only got a Glock.
Lovely. What's his money?
2,000.
Yeah, interesting. Perhaps anticipating, well, a slaughter, and it is so far, same as always.
Okay.
I was convinced we were going to have a decent game when we saw 2 quick bomb plants come down in the first 2 out of 3 rounds, or the second and third round, that is. Now we're not even getting anywhere. They're just getting absolutely battered and bruised by this SK team, and if this is how convincing they are against G2, then a team like Virtus Pro, who loves Train, what if they meet up with them? Do they want to challenge this?
Yeah.
Is this an anomaly? Is G2, okay, yes, G2 is playing poorly. There's no question about that. But is it that poor that VP still thinks, you know, that SK,
to be fair, are looking great. Like,
exactly, that's the point I'm making. How good is SK in comparison?
They're definitely, it's trying to work out who's GTR being very bad, but SK are being excellent as well. This is strange that round especially. Why has Shoxy only got a Glock? It does mean he can bring an AWP into this round, but his teammates can't buy into it. So what was the idea behind that one? So there it is. Okay. So like I said, the AWP can come out, but his teammates. This is an absolute mess. This doesn't make any sense now, Matt. Surely you want to keep the money balanced. Why just have a Glock last round and then the teammates bring one AK, one AWP out, and some Deagles and stuff? This is just falling apart. I think they need to be looking to Dust 2 at this point. It still can work sometimes, but they need to be getting a bomb down here. Shoxy maybe can open things up. He's not even the main AWP for this team. That should be Smiths, who's got top of the scoreboard right now, but for what reason? That's completely in vain if you're not winning a single round. So an AWP, an AK-47, 3 pistols, and a bit of utility. Ooh. There we go, Smithsy, let's go.
We get something.
A lot of work to do still, but that's something.
A lot of work to do in this round, a lot of work to do in this game. Perhaps a lot of work to do on train.
Yeah, what, in terms of the theory?
Yeah.
I don't know, this just seems like it's the first game of the stage in this tournament. They're certainly not ready for it. It's looking a little bit lackluster.
And SK's coordination is very good as well. The way they're playing around Ivy is actually quite impressive because we've seen them give it up and Fallen get caught off, but immediately, even if they're playing it more passively, they're not playing a presence directly there, they're playing for trades.
Well, we said if they went aggressive, they had the good start, they win the pistol, and they start doing those pushes towards Ivy, towards inside. G2, if they can't handle it, they're going to start rattling themselves. And right now, we hit the 40-second mark. What's the play from G2 here? They have 2 players towards main, 2 at Ivy, and Body he'll be holding towards Pop Dog for now, but time ticking away. 30 seconds yet to commit.
And 2 smokes, but one of them is Shox, who's gone. Now that'll be re-grabbed, sure, but it's a smoke at Ivy, which can't be set on top of the site. Good redress from RPK. This will put him in toward the hitch. Smoke goes his direction, rather it's a flash, excuse me. Either way, puts him back from being able to peek. Bomb's going to go down. They've made their way in from A main. There's just 3 remaining from SK. They're going to try and rotate back in from C connector and Fallen. AWP already trying to jump across the bomb train. Smith gets behind, he gets taken down. Fallen's got the shot on Body. And Fallen again is going to go for the same peek. It's just Scream and RPK waiting. And they both have guns. AK and AWP. RPK, not the one you'd expect to be on it. He's got a shot on FNX coming out from Old Train. And now it's going to be Fallen alone inside of the site. Bomb ticking, and G2 might finally have a chance to win a round as Scream gets pushed back. They're going to wrap around. Fallen's got the shot. They're on the defuse already and actually has a kit, so Scream's got to go aggressive.
Oh, no.
Fallen's going to hold it off. I take back everything I said because SK managed to clutch it still.
Oh, Scream there towards main entrance in a horrible position for the 2 versus 1. RPK pretty much left alone there. If Scream could have been a bit more active when they were hunting for RPK, might have had a chance at that point. The bomb wasn't really down for main at all. He comes out at the end. He's pretty much done for at that point. After they did such good work there, Smith's finding the opening frag with the Deagle as well. They actually picked up an AWP, which they had brought into round, beg your pardon, but still they managed to get a frag of it. RPK was starting to do some work, but 13-0. This is getting awkward. It's going to be round number 14 here. Aggression towards inside again, which seems Fallen. Doesn't seem scared at all. Will be flashed off, has to fall back at this point, but G2 don't strike. But RPK finally doing something into this game. He takes down FNX and they get a 5-on-4 once again. I think that was towards the Pop Dog area. Yes, it was. So he manages to get the advantage for now at least, but they've had this before, and even in the previous round, and weren't able to capitalize.
Smith's not able to hit the shot on Fur going for that peek. Back over to B. We haven't seen this aggression in a while, and Smith's again another quiet game, unfortunately. The 2 maps that I was looking forward to watching him play on.
Yeah, right.
In fairness to this game, you can't really blame it all on him. In fact, far from. Shox does manage to sneak in from upper. That'll catch Fur off, and if he gets far enough forward, if they can get the bomb there in a timely fashion, he can hold off rotations. Bomb over toward A main. They've got to throw that to get it toward the stairs quicker, but Shock's already gone. The forward man of the site goes down. They've still got a man advantage to work with, but this could be a wrap back. They forced the rotation as well. All 3 players already through Z connector.
Yeah.
They bring bomb back to A main now and wrap through Pop Dog. They've got a chance to hold the rotations back inside, excuse me, of the A site. Good play though. This is the smartest way to counter it because a smoke out, that was the intention to cut off the rotations, but Fallen gets elevated. It's cold instead. I thought it was Fallen to hit that shot, and he leaves it. Very smart not to overreact and take the shot on RPK. Leaves it for cold, and then wide peaks to hit Body.
I feel like when they had the advantage at that point and they had players towards inside, I think it was a bit too telegraphed. They're going back towards outer. They smoke off the connector. They're nowhere near the bomb side at that point. A perfect boost comes in. Fallen finds the first frag there, and G2. I'm sorry, this one is over. It's sad to say in the quarterfinals here. It's a big game. We're all looking forward to this matchup, but 14-0. They didn't get the bomb down once again. It could be the 15-0. This could be the Golden Duck coming in.
He's not here this event. We had a promise from Red Eye if that happened.
Oh, you do the old meme?
Yeah, the old meme.
Maybe Alex can do it for us.
Maybe Alex can. I don't know if that counts. I want it from the man himself. Fallen. Trying to find a shot, does dance on the edge of flyer to do so, down to 28, but it's the auto sniper instead. Of course, why not? Round 15, might as well bring it out. It's going to get the kill. Taco, the man to do it. Scream now falling to cold, falling through the smoke. Yes, sir. We've got some activity. At least something entertaining for everyone here. Because right now, the opening ceremony has been the highlight of the frag movie.
Yeah.
PK's going to get one on defer and cold. He's going to close it. It is a cold half. It's a damn cold half for G2 as it's 0 degrees in their camp right now. Maybe turn it up inside that booth.
Oh, 15-0. It's a seedy-sided map, but this is a map that G2 is certainly not the best, but they're definitely competitive on it. SK Gaming sending out a clear message to the rest of the teams in this tournament. Fallen, 23 kills. What a show he put on there. So dynamic, so aggressive. Inside ramp towards Ivy, just rotating. Every time he got a kill, he's everywhere, it felt like. He was delivering in the big situations as well. And the one time they got close to it, they bought an AWP and Tech9's and a Galil. They actually get shut down by him once again. He gets the USP out, completely destroys them. Oh, God. Well, yeah, Matt, this game's over, unfortunately.
It is.
It's sad to say.
But it's a pleasure to be here with you, Henry.
Yes,
to die by your side.
That's such a heavenly way to die.
Yeah. It's the one time you'll ever get that out of me.
So, Fallen, 23 kills. He only died 3 times there. Not bad. Probably some of the sickest stats you can get, to be honest. Let's have a look. Body and RPK, to be fair, it's difficult to analyse their contributions, and as a whole, they look uninspired, rattled from those aggressive pushes. I said it could be a problem at the start. SK started doing it. G2, certainly a team that... Why didn't they take a pause there, by the way?
I have no idea. Like, the round we said it, I think it was 10-0, but you called it. They weren't buying, so all right, maybe you don't do it that round.
Yeah.
The next round, what do you... Like, the thing is, from where we're sitting right now, and thankfully, in some ways, we're not getting a ton of the camera feed up here, so I didn't get a chance to see the faces and read the emotions. Normally, I can turn around, but we're quite elevated in the arena. We're on the 4th floor, looking almost down at the stage. I can't see it, and sometimes you can read that they're just tilting, and it's, what's the timeout going to do when they don't even want to talk to each other?
The thing is, though, right, when you get that deep into it, surely just go, right, inside rush, outside rush, just do set pieces, smoke, get a bomb down, let's force a post-one situation, something. They were just running a default every single time, and the money wasn't there, they had no option but to keep doing it. They'd bring an AWP out, no one was really hitting any shots. I feel like there's just like default turning into nightmare there. Someone just needed to have a little bit of a think, take the pause and work out what would be possible.
It's not a bad score from Fallen.
Yeah, 20-53, that's pretty much as good as it gets, I'm afraid. Well then, I normally say it's a must-win pistol when you're this far behind, but it's more so than ever now, I would say. One round will do it, no 16-0. That's probably G2's objective at this point. You can't get back into this game, I'm afraid. It's just not going to happen with the form SK are in. If they win the pistol, at least they avoid that scoreline. That's something that won't be going down in the history books, at least. 15-0 first half is pretty much already etched in, but maybe they can make it a little bit less embarrassing at this point. It's going to be 5 sets of armor for G2. Silent USPs across the board, and we have got Superman in form of Taco. He's got a Tech9. His teammate, 3 sets of armor, 2 smokes as well. So plenty of options to do with that. You can go towards inside, like I said before. It's the most favoured part of the map in terms of the T-pistol. Almost guaranteed a bomb every single time, especially with a couple of smokes going down as well. And obviously you can do 2 smokes towards outer. The 5 and 6 trains take vision away from the CTs. Force a difficult rotation. And this is going to be the main duel, though. Shoxy pushing the upper ramp. I think he's going to get some good timing here. Taco's probably just going to turn away. Yep, there it is. As soon as he comes around, a nice sort of one bullet from Shoxy. Gives them an advantage for now, at least.
Yeah, for now, at least. Let's not get too far ahead. It's a good start, though. That's exactly what they need to at least hatch the egg. A little tiny Easter egg. Scream tries to find a tap himself down toward A main. Does tag up on 10. TC, FNX nearly gets taken down by that, but he's going to get aggressive, pushes through. Scream's going to catch him for it. So that doesn't pay off. And FNX essentially sacrifices himself. They lose the man inside as well. Fur, he's going to get out of the hands of Shox. Cold Zero will pull it back, gets forward, Tech9 in hand. No armor to work with, but Tech9
no.
Can be punishing. Fallen's got the shot on body. Bomb's going to go down. It's a 2 versus 3 in the post plant. They can't find Cold. He's playing this out correctly. Spots up Smith, spots up the second as well. And I'm not sure why my mic is going absolutely insane. Hopefully that's not translating over Cold. No. He might do it alone. Oh, is it really happening? It is. Cold Zero makes it a cold day in hell for G2. And it's the first time since last year at iBuy Power Cup that I've casted a 16-0.
What can you say? It's a 5-on-2. You think surely we've avoided this 16-0 at this point at Cold Zero. He said he had the Superman. That's a Tech9 and armor. And he delivers a 4K there. The bomb goes down with 10 seconds to spare. And I guess there's no pressure on his shoulders there. G2, the game was over at that point anyway, but still a 16-0. What a way to kick off this best of 3. All guns blazing. My God. Well, that's a little bit of a disappointing way to kick it off. Although it's a fantastic performance from SK, you feel like G2, they looked uninspired there, Matt. They didn't really know what was going on. They were running the same defaults every single time, didn't really adjust to anything that was going on. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that sector, but you know what? Still, SK Gaming, they're looking hot right now, and this completely shut them down. 16-0, not even around to analyze, and what G2 did well.
There's two things to look at. I mean, one is you're right. G2, there's no denying it, was absolutely god-awful. But SK looked very good. That's one of the best games I've seen them play since the return of First, since they've come back to this lineup. Yeah. And it's encouraging because, like I say, of the 4 teams in this quarterfinal, like you said, the 6 teams overall, I would say they're the one with the best chance of getting past either Na'Vi or Virtus Pro.
Yeah, well, it goes to Dust2 next, and that's G2's pick. So to be fair, they've lost their own pick. That's fine. They've lost their opponent's pick, right?
16-0 is a little different.
Yeah, but still, like you still like even if you won 16-14, the result still stands, right? Like it's still the same outcome. You just need to concentrate now, take the break. They've probably got about 10-15 minutes. Pick themselves up. Dust2 is their best map. They just need to be more assertive, though. They look caged that whole time, willing to do anything fast or even just a set piece to throw in, just kind of just to try and dissemble what the CT was doing at that point. 15-0 to 16-0. I think it was going to be the end anyway, but I guess let's throw it over to the gentleman at the desk.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can have a little bit of...
I'm sure, yeah, there's lots of mistakes they can point out at least.
Yeah, let's go to them.
Well, it happened. There we go. 16-0. Truly brutal and truly savage. G2 couldn't make a single round appear. It's not how we were expecting to start, but I'm going to go ahead and try and identify some of the errors perhaps in the ways of the Frenchmen, or perhaps some praise to be sung for the Brazilians. Where do we start with this one, Halvor?
Like, ton of praise, actually.
Yeah?
I thought this was one of the games where normally when you see a 16-0 or 16-1, basically a crushing result, you'll oftentimes go to the losing side, pick them apart, and throw them to the wolves. But in this case, I'm more, happy to see how well SK were playing because they played the exact same game they did versus Virtus Pro on day 1. Except here you see what happens when you're actually successful with your aggressive pushes, which they weren't at all versus VP. Pretty much that's what gave VP a lot of